Hello caffeine fiends and welcome to another coffee review for www.getbean.com. I'm Vince the Mean Bean Machine and today we're looking at Kin Coffee's Songbird, totally tropical. So, Kin Coffee are kind of new on the scene. They really started as kind of lockdown roasters, I think back in 2020, really. They're a couple of people who've moved out from London into Kent and then kind of missed having that availability of specialty coffee. So they've started their own roastery, which may seem a little extreme to some. Personally, I'd just try and find better coffee shops. I'm sure there are some specialty coffee shops in Kent, but anyway, they've started their own roastery, so why not? I actually found out about them by someone at work. So I work for a search agency, Honcho Search, and someone mentioned their friends who'd set up a coffee roastery, because we've got a brand new coffee machine in office, which I've done a review of, and this person was wondering essentially if I thought these beans were any good, if it were worth getting a subscription to his friend's coffee thing and seeing if he could help them out by getting a subscription to the office. Anyway, this was all hypothetical, but I hadn't heard of them, so I thought I'll give them a go. Gladly give them a go. So I ordered their Songbird coffee, which is from Peru. Hurrah! Now I have a selection of coffees. They either come in a nice glass jar or in a compostable refill bag. So there's an environmental aspect to it as well, which is pleasing to someone of my views. But it just feels odd to have like a open plasticky bag of coffee. It's just weird, you know when you get the nice little like paper bags or the sealed. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with it. It just feels weird is all. So yeah, all the information is here. Kin Coffee from Kent. This is Peruvian coffee, deepest darkest Peru, and on the back it tells you the SCA score, so basically how good the coffee is rated. This is sun-dried coffee. Now the tasting notes are of strawberry jam aroma, hints of ripe tropical fruits, with a smooth velvety texture. Now, ripe tropical fruits and smooth velvety texture are a natural juxtaposition for me. I don't know how I feel about that, but jam aroma, nice. So nice, sweet, tropical fruits, acidity, but with a smooth velvety texture, so suggesting there isn't too much of a roughness. That's what I get from the, packaging. So we'll grind it up, give it a go. See how it fares as an espresso and then as a latte. So here goes. So there we have our espresso shot. As you can see, I'm without my trusty glass mugs today that I like to use so you can see the coffee, because I've actually smashed them up. So that was really smart of me. But our espresso shot is there and you smell it. And when you open the bag, there is a sort of tropical fruit smell, which is really bizarre because to me, I kind of associate it with fruit juice. So it's like got this pineapple-y kind of, when you get a summer fruits drink or whatever, there's like a mango, pineapple-y, very kind of sweet scent that wafts up and it's very tart and you kind of go, oh yeah, that's tropical fruit. And you get a similar sense from opening the bag of beans here, and it's very bizarre because it's not something you necessarily expect from coffee, but it did sort of kind of instantly also make me go, tick, that's there, that's what they were talking about. So it is a good sign. Now I got this 250 grams for $6.50, so it's not a bad price point either. So we'll see how it goes. You sniff it, and that jamminess is there as well. It was very tart, and that's why I think they kind of say strawberry jam. But I get more of that tropical fruit aroma, so it will be interesting to see how it tastes on the tongue. So here goes. Cool. That is there. There is a kind of tropical sweetness, a really sweet kind of tart layering. Not too, doesn't catch you, you know, when something's too tart, it just catches you in your cheeks and you go, oh. It's not like that at all, and I think that's perhaps what they mean by the smooth velvety texture. There's no roughness, but you definitely do get that sensation of some sort of sweet tropical fruit, and it's really bizarre. You don't expect that from coffee. And it's got this sweet smell and taste that's, I really can't imagine it will go well with milk, just because of that natural rule. You don't want an acidic fruit juice with milk. It'll curdle and be awful, but it has an espresso shot. Wow, that's really there. It's really, really kind of bright and light and tropical fruits in your face. Yeah, wow. Wow, it's like your morning fruit juice and your morning coffee all wrapped in one. Weird. Nice weird, but weird. I don't know what to make of that. I enjoy it. I'm going back for more. I think, as someone who's not an espresso drinker, particularly, it's always nice to find kind of newer flavours in espresso, newer, sweeter, or things you don't expect, because I always expect espresso to be too dark and too bitter for me all at once, which is absurd, because having worked in the coffee industry and having set up espresso machines where I've been having an espresso every hour on the hour or whatever to make sure the machine's still in, you know, operating properly and whatnot, I know that good espresso isn't like that, but there's still a part of me, you know, that deep-rooted psyche of, no, I don't want an espresso. That's amazing how fruity that is, though. Genuinely amazing. Anyway, like I say, we'll give it a go as a latte. See what we think then, and then we'll give some final thoughts. So, here goes. So we have our latte. I'm quite happy with my pour in my honcho search mug. So yeah, let's see if any of the acidity is dulled or if the fruitiness comes through. I sort of hope not in a milky drink, but what other tones are there? Maybe it becomes more jammy, which wouldn't be bad, but I'm happy with the creaminess in the pour, so we'll see how this latte works out for us. Well, here goes. Yeah, so that fruitiness doesn't all but disappear. There is a fruitiness to it, but that sweet tartness is really kind of contained in by the milk and becomes more jammy with milk rather than that kind of fruit juice essence to it. Obviously it doesn't taste like fruit juice, it tastes like coffee. Obviously it doesn't taste like jam, it tastes like coffee. But there are those components that you sip it as an espresso and go, wow, that's really fruity, really kind of not acidic. Well, yes, acidic, but there's no roughness to that acidity. And you think of these tropical fruits, mango, pineapple, whatever, and you kind of go, yeah, I get that, that's there. How's that going to work with milk? And it becomes this sweeter, more compact sort of flavour once you add the latte with the oat milk, and it becomes jammier, so that sweetness becomes a more contained sweetness, a more sugary, more as though it's a breakfast, you know, coffee. There's not that fruitiness isn't there, and it does become more jammy, more, I can't think of the words, but there's, you know, rather than being, oh, that's fruit and milk, it becomes more contained as a sugary, sweety kind of it's complementary with the milk. It's not at odds with it, which is weird, because as an espresso you try it and you go, that'll be at odds with it, that'll clash, and it sort of morphs into this secondary thing of kind of jammy fruitness rather than sweet tropical fruitness. And I'm impressed, genuinely impressed, because it works really well in that sense, as an espresso and as a latte, which you don't often get. However, you lose a lot of that tropical fruitness. It does come through a little bit, I'm just getting it there as I say that. But what really makes it stand out as a coffee is sort of lost in a latte, which happens with a lot of coffees because you're adding milk, obviously. But I would, as an espresso, that's fantastic. And to be fair, it does kind of say cafetiere, V60 or fine grind with a picture of a mocha pot rather than espresso. So if you're a black coffee drinker, I think you'll really be kind of blown away by that. As a latte drinker, it's still very pleasant, and I think you would kind of unknowingly sip that and go, yeah, that's nice coffee, and then at points you go, oh, there's something coming through there, and that's that fruitiness that you wouldn't necessarily kind of put your finger on in a regular latte. You kind of be like, oh, there's something different and something quite nice to that. So as kind of new kids on the block of coffee, that's blooming impressive. They've nailed it with the totally tropical, and yeah, I really like that. For $6.95 as well. So what? Throw in another couple of quid for delivery. So you're still paying under a tenner for delivery. You're paying about 8-9 quid for delivery with it, for a pack with delivery. That's good coffee. That's darn good coffee. Yeah, and I thoroughly approve. I'll go away and think of some stuff, make some notes, but ultimately, nice coffee. Here we are with my final thoughts, and as you can see, I've given it a whopping 4 stars. Very impressive coffee. It's not my favourite flavour for coffee, but I gave it that because essentially on the label it's exactly what it says. Incredibly sweet, the tropical tones as an espresso. Becomes more compact and jammy as a latte, but it doesn't lose too much fruitiness, and that's essentially what it tells you it's going to be. So although not my favourite flavour, it's an incredibly nice kind of coffee. I did thoroughly enjoy it. That's not to say it's not an enjoyable coffee. I just don't necessarily expect fruity coffee. But that was incredibly kind of citrusy, and well, not even citrusy, but that kind of tropical fruit vibe. And it tells you that. And I kind of maybe a bit skeptically kind of went, yeah, all right. But no, that's it. And it is a really nice coffee. I enjoyed it. So 4 stars for the old Songbird from King Coffee. So thank you for watching. Do hit those like and subscribe buttons, and check out www.getbeaned.com for more reviews, equipment reviews, coffee reviews, festival reviews, and just general coffee news. Thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you all soon. Bye bye.